That's really bad. Because you end your turn with an unhappy face, you don't produce anything. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go and disband something. You know what? I might disband one of my farms. Because obviously we're not going to be able to sustain growth right now. This was not a good feeling turn. And I didn't look forward enough. I didn't really calculate the age ending and what that would imply for us. So we end here, we'll get some corruption. But we'll be tied-ish for first, again, depending on tiebreakers. Our science rate has gone up a tiny little bit. I guess we eat that. Yeah, we eat the corruption. We're going to drop immigration because we're not going to have the happy faces. I don't think I'm going to go for the cannon-based technology. I don't think the aggression is going to go. So we'll hold on to political strength, or politics of strength, and then the extra miscellaneous cards, which might come up for colonization stuff. And yeah, currently our growth is paused. But although we're not running negative food, and we've got a couple of workers ready to go if we can fix the happiness. AJ, selective breeding, so that's the tier 2 farm. So they skip the tier 1, going to tier 2. Ooh, red aggressed red, but they were able to defend. Or blue aggressed red. And they got drama going, which once they populate it will generate some extra culture. And of course these churches, these temples are generating culture as well. Red's unlikely to play an event because they're at the bottom of the pile. Working on the Great Wall Wonder. Built some warriors. We will tiebreak against them, so we're actually going to be number 2 in military strength on our turn. So I'm perfectly happy to play it. Annex, we don't have enough of a lead over yellow. They do have a colony, but they do have enough actions and defensive cards that they'd be able to defend against my annex, so we're not going to do that. I think I will... I don't know if we're really in a position to claim territories, but I'm going to go and throw another territory card in there. Pestilence! On all civilization, your turn, lose a population. Okay, so we will just lose an idle worker, which will go back there, which doesn't mess us up too much. If any of these guys didn't have an idle worker, they're going to have to smash a building. I mean, we had to do that last turn, I suppose, but... Oh, that's a heck of a tactic. Again, if we get our knights going ever, which is starting to feel less and less likely. I think if we do this... Can develop knights right now, but can't grow my pop because we don't have the food. We are very stalled. I may as well go and just get rid of the unhappy face. There are some events that can trigger based on that. One extra action. Just pick up masonry. Let's pick up opera. You know, at some point, hope that we can just win. Yeah, we're not in a good position to do an annex. Maybe we can dream that we can use this tactic at some point, although it feels fairly unlikely. My mineral production is huge. What we need is a wonder to come up here for us to do something with our minerals. There's coal in this. We don't really need that, though, because we did pick up iron. Blue tried to attack yellow. Yellow defended. Wouldn't mind picking up the Republic if it's still around. Okay, vast territory combat. This would be huge for us. So, I mean, we're at least going to bid this. Honestly, I'm willing to win it at all costs. Okay, it's going to cost us 5 to do it. There, 5. I didn't think we'd actually have to spend everything. But yeah, that's big for us because returning yellow cubes is going to help with our happy face situation, our food deficit situation. And it gives us a little bit of food as well, so we'll be able to grow our pop this turn, which is going to be massive. Iconoclast, so what it does is it kills everything that's not from the current age. We're in age 2 right now, so all age 1 leaders, which includes Freddy. I think everyone here is age 1, actually. Oh, maybe not Michelangelo. And Yellow's going to be picking someone. Oh, no, it is all age 1. So reset that. I don't know if I want to lose it. Now, terrorism is interesting in this particular situation. Who's got the least culture? I do. That's great. So what terrorism does is the civilization with least culture gets to blow up a building from everyone else. So we're going to put that in as a bit of an equalizer. And trigger uncertain borders. We're going to take another yellow token. No, I'm the weakest. Oh, son of a bitch. I mean, I'm still happy to play the terrorism. That actually really stinks. Ah. Now, here's the problem, right? Oh, okay, so we're weak, so we should get some military going on. Ideally, what I could do is I could build a knight and then copy this tactic and be in a great position militaristically. But the other thing is, I would kind of like to build an extra farm. But if I do that, I stay weak and I think way too vulnerable. So I think what we have to do is do this. At least we can do it food efficiently, and I'll be able to grow next turn anyway. And then I'm going to copy this tactic, and we go to strength 12. We're still not number 1, but it'll have to do. We could also pick up like cards like Patriotism, gives you production for building military units and an extra military action. I don't really need the production side of it right now. I think we should pick up architecture here. And the reason is it will make our urban buildings cheaper just by spending some science. And I think that's going to be pretty relevant. Next turn we can deploy it. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think we pick up Republic as well, although I don't think I don't know if we use it next turn. I don't think we want Max. Well, I think, because normally if you're going to do a revolution, you have to do it as your first thing because it costs you all your civics. I think next turn I can deploy Max and then rebellion to a Republic. Just lose my military actions, which means I won't be able to build up, you know, any more military here, but hopefully we'll still be okay. Oh, of course there's more corruption. Oh, we'll just have to eat it. Kind of a little sad I didn't grab a wonder because that would be a great thing to sink our production in. Do we want to keep... Yeah, we'll drop scientific cooperation. Actually, I don't know if Iconoclasm is going to do much for us, but I'm going to hold on to it anyway. That wouldn't be bad tactics for us to move to either. I do tend to like the ones that use fewer units because it's more flexible for colonization and stuff. There's no denying that it's pretty strong. All right, yeah, you've got your better farm. Okay, I'm not the weakest, so I don't lose a population. Good. Started the Kremlin Wonder. Okay. War declared. Okay, so these wars are interesting. So what happens here is Red use their political action to start the war. They will have their whole turn to maybe build some more military units. Blue will have one whole, like it'll go through to Blue. So Blue will have a chance to build defensive units. Then on the start of Red's next turn, the result of the war will be processed. So I was gonna say I'm gonna assume Blue's planning on building military units. I mean, or Red, but it looks like they're not. Oh, they're gonna swap to there you go, Napoleon. That's gonna boost their strength. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, we're actually second highest military strength. I'm not too worried about playing a card. I'll drop Iconoclasm. When it does pop, it would go ahead and kill Freddy, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be replacing this turn. The only thing it's going to snag is Blue, and also, yeah, just that. So it's not going to do much, but it's going to score us 2 culture. Although we got to remember Terrorism's in the deck later on, so we need to make sure to stay at the bottom of the pile. Oh my god, yeah, our food production, man. Oof. Okay. So yeah, we'll do Max. We'll revolution to Republic by spending all of our military, but it's going to keep our civic points, which is groovy. He himself is worth an extra red dot as well, and we do have our warfare here, which is good, because Republic only has 2 military pips. So I prefer the constitutional monarchy, generally speaking, just because it's a little more balanced, except for the fact that we do have, because it would suck to just have 2 military points right now. We could consider picking up Riflemen, which would give us a way to boost our military strength without actually increasing the size of our military, because we would be upgrading from Warriors, which are worth 1 strength each, to Riflemen, which are worth 3 each. And that's fairly tempting. We don't need selective breeding. We don't have any tactics that use cannons right now. And of course, our turn comes around, there's no wonders to draft. think I will do this. Oh yeah, I don't have any military actions. Right. Okay, so I don't actually have to play you this turn. I'm going to pick up reserves so we can use it to potentially boost our food. We do have some waste. I'm going to have to build something. Okay, develop architecture. Maybe not. That's interesting. Actually, I think what we need is we need another farm. Let me back up here then. We're going to build this. I'm going to build... Oh no, then I don't have the food for it. Are we really going to sit here and just eat another corruption that I can't really do anything with? I'm like, oh, if I can build the farm and the opera. Well, what I can do is instead of doing the farm, I can develop opera. We're going to pay full price for it with no discount. Oh, we still have frickin' waste by spending 8. Now, I don't even have to develop the opera because I could just build an extra lab, but I think in the end, we'll just build the farm. We're still just at -2 waste, but at least we have some food production going forward, and that's going to be something. Let's pick up urban growth. We're building our opera next turn for even cheaper. What do I do with my last point? If I build architecture, we'll only have 5 science next turn for opera, although I'd like architecture before I do that. It also means I can't build the rifleman next turn. I don't really want to grab another tech-based thing, but I guess we might have to. I can have a lot of cards now because I have a lot of actions from our government. I mean, we can hold on to the cannon. Maybe a cannon tactic shows up. But right now, it feels pretty likely that we might just go ahead with our classic army here. Build 1 extra knight. Not in good position to spend it for colonization, but great position defensively. Or I just sit on journalism. Use that to develop more science and some culture so that we can start catching up. All right, let me grab this. Eat the corruption. Not draw any new military cards, which is a bit unfortunate. If Red wanted to attack me right now, they would win. I don't have enough to defend. And they know it. Like, I don't think mathematically I could. Well, if I drew exactly the right... I wouldn't have H2 cards, yeah. Okay, yellow building a little bit of military. I'm really hoping Red doesn't throw an aggression card at me. Well, I don't love our position at all. Rebellion, no one's discontent. Hold the blue to play in action when they're a bottom. Oh, but blue knows what the top thing was. And I know this card here because it's the last card in the deck and it's one I played. So this is why it's revealing it to me. It's because I clearly know what this is. Blue, okay, building swordmen. They're still going to lose the war, I'm sure. Yeah, they're going to lose the war. It was war over technology, I think, yeah. So they're going to steal some science. There you go. Now red, don't attack. Son of a... It's going to remove my leader or an unfinished wonder. I don't have an unfinished wonder, so it's going to get rid of Rob's here, which is fine, actually. The only problem, and then he does get some culture from it. I lose a military pip, but Rob's wasn't doing anything for us anymore. He was there to help us with the revolution, so it's not as bad as this could be. A decent amount of science with that. We got lots of happy faces. We could consider picking up organized religion to generate 1 million happy faces for us. I don't have any politics cards to play. We don't have a leader to grab. There's no wonder to grab, because of course, why would there be? We could grab justice system, which would give us an extra civil action, and a bunch of blue cubes to help with the corruption here. We've got reserves as well. We've got a decent amount of food, and we've got a huge amount of minerals. 11 is awkward. I can't do 2 techs. I mean, there's breakthrough, but I can't use it this turn. Might still be worth holding on to. I definitely need some extra military. Okay, what I propose is we go ahead and build a knight. And probably deploy this. Oh, it only increased our strength by 1. Oh, I know why. So you see how this card has 2 numbers on it? This 8 strength is the actual tactic here. But if the units used to make this army are 2 ages behind, then it's only worth a 4, which is the case because our warriors are only level A, so it's only worth 4. And I'm replacing this tactic here, which is currently giving us 4. Oh no, I'm green. I'm using the phalanx over here, which is giving us 3. And it's only age 1, so it doesn't actually penalize us for the warriors here. Arguably, the thing to do instead of building the knight is... Oh, we need 2 more warriors and another knight to get the phalanx going on. Maybe the thing to do is to develop the riflemen. It's not going to use any population. We're just going to upgrade our warriors to this. I could also develop a knight, but then I won't have enough actions to go and actually deploy the new tactic. But this isn't bad because I can defend right now, right? I'm not number 1, but I could defend. If I did do the knights, I'd be at 18. And then depending on when things happen, well, we'd mostly still lose tiebreakers to red. But at least we're currently safe. And we do have the reserves. There's things we can do. I could raise my pop. I did spend our tech, but at least we're getting some tech. Although I do have enough. I could just go to a 3rd alchemy lab because we now have an urban building limit of 3. I kind of feel like that's what happens. We use urban growth to discount a little bit, although we still have some waste. How do I feel about that? Kind of think... Oh, we have lots of actions. What else are we going to do with our turn here? Scientific method is interesting, but I don't know if we're going to do that. I'm going to say we don't need coal. I think we probably pick up a lot of yellow cards here. So what I might want to do is just pay the full price for alchemy. Get out of the corruption completely. I could play reserves for food and then grow it again. Have the extra pop sitting around. Urban growth for a temple. I don't think I need that. I think we pick up breakthrough. Engineering genius, hoping that we get a wonder soon. I don't know. Well, I'd also like organized religion and justice system, but we've got too many tech cards in our hand. I guess I'd just pick up engineering genius. Got 1 extra military action, so we will be drawing a card, which is something. Okay. Well, we've kind of dug ourselves out of a hole a little bit, but we do need to get the opera and maybe journalism going. Oh, yellow declared war on blue, despite only being 1 ahead. They must have a plan to build up their military a whole bunch. Revolutionary idea to score some tech. Patriotism to get production and civic actions. Increase your pop twice. 3 times. Build rifles. Build rifles. All right, that was a pretty good boost in strength. All right. Blue's playing in action because they know the developed territory is up there, which would be great. Anytime you can get something that gives you yellow cubes, it's fantastic. But I don't know. I mean, just in case no one else bids on it, we can do this. It would drop my strength down to 11, which does mean red could obliterate me on their turn. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, we might have gotten outbid anyway. Yellow was willing to spend at least 5, possibly more. We don't know what their total bid number was, so we probably wouldn't have got it regardless. Okay. Blue. Well, yellow did spend that and they're going to war, but blue didn't build much. Okay, we get our science, which we actually got the most science out of scientific breakthrough. Red developed Republic peacefully. Okay. Those labs up. They're starting to work on the ocean liner, which would be great for us. We might try to pick up the Transcontinental Railroad. It's going to be pretty damned expensive, though. Oh, age 3 just hit. So we lost some of our yellow pips again. I've got no events here, and I don't want to war over... Well! Hang on. Okay, if I did war over culture, it would cost against blue. It would cost me all 3 of my tactics pips, so I wouldn't actually be able to do any military development. I've got an 8-point lead right now. What does blue have in their hands? We don't know what their military actions are. They do have a cannon. There's no public cannon-based tech. They don't have enough food to grow their pop. They don't really have any mines. Actually, I think I can war... I think I can war you over culture. And get us a few culture points. Now, I hope that's not going to screw me with terrorism here. That would be really funny if it did. Hang on. Okay, we're not going to do enough to knock blue all the way down. We could potentially take enough to put ourselves in 3rd place instead of last. Especially if I start developing things like opera and whatnot. Okay, I'm going to develop architecture with breakthrough. I'm going to claim the Transcontinental Railroad. So this is good. Your best mine produces 1 extra blue token, which we'll probably want to develop coal and have at least 1. It also gives you 5 strength immediately when you like finish it, just permanently, which is nice to kind of have statically. It costs us a total of 12 to develop, except one of the stages will be free because of Engineering Genius. So it's actually only going to cost us 9. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Which means I could finish it immediately, which gives us more military strength. Because of architecture here, we can do 3 stages in 1 civil action. We had to use 1 to play the engineering card, but here we're going to use a total of 1 civic action and then 9 minerals to build this, which boosts our military, which puts us in a better position against blue. I'd kind of like to have picked up team sports. I think what I might do here is just develop opera. I realize we won't be able to build it. I could grab a frugality to be able to do a cheap growth next turn, though. That might be better. I mean, yeah, it's not like I need to worry about how many civic actions I've got. We've got a good number of them, generally speaking, here. And just developing opera won't do anything. And you're not worried about floating all this science. That doesn't actually hurt us the same way because it doesn't come out of the blue cubes. So yeah, I'm going to grab... slow down the progress here. So I got a choice of these, and it affects... if I grab this frugality, it's already being burned. If I grab this one, that's more cards being burned, so we're cycling through things a little bit quicker. I might want to just cycle through things slower, actually. Might increase the chance that Bach or Shakespeare or something are still around on my turn. We don't actually have a cannon, so I'm going to ditch this one. Not getting drawn any extra cards. That's okay, though. I was going to say, blue's getting warred already, so there's losing yellow pips. Like, blue, one of the issues with this game, when you're playing with your friends, is, I mean, you're incentivized to dogpile on the weak person, and it can actually just obliterate their game. And sometimes can lead to unfun sessions. Now, if everyone knows the rules, and especially knows that, like, they have to keep defending themselves and not get in a weak military position, generally it's okay, because no one gets too vulnerable, but sometimes it can get a little nasty, or you're forced to not play the best way you can play to just not be mean to your friend. And that's a tricky thing when you're sort of forcing people to like not play good to try to increase fun. I mean, it's a good thing for you to do. I just realized some of these sounds are like wickedly loud, aren't they? Dang it. But it's bad that a game forces you in that position because, you know, what's fun is playing a strong game. So we got a good lead over blue. We still have the least culture. Good. I'm happy terrorism popped now, because now we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to go and blow up 1 building on our turn, 1 building of every other player's. There's only 1 terrorism card, and the odds of you getting it while you're the lowest person is low, so you often don't get to choose too much. Okay, we are flipping a lot of culture over now. Now it's on 42, but it's okay. Terrorism's already triggered. We have no politics cards to play, so we'll skip that. Now what we're doing is we're processing the terrorism. So this is yellow. They actually don't have a whole lot of high-end stuff. Blowing up their temple isn't going to change their happiness balance here. So I'm just going to blow up one of their science labs. This is for blue, I think. I mean, it's got a blue background, so it must be. Well, this is the organized religion's their most expensive building. It would kill 3 of their happy faces, which does put them in a very awkward position on their turn. They'll have to fix it. Their food growth, yeah, we'll probably do that. I mean, we could also just hurt their science rate, which is something. But we'll do this. And then here, yeah, their labs, this is red. Their labs are their most expensive buildings, generally what I'm going to go for. And we can maybe slow down their science a bit, although they have plenty stored up. Speaking of plenty stored up, us. Okay. We have enough food to grow as well. Happiness is a little bit of a concern, but the opera is now available. Team sports as well. Oh, yeah, we have a... Oh, that's interesting. We already had a tier 2 leader. We can't draft another one. I thought we couldn't draft it as long as we had one, but I guess I just can't have another tier 2 leader, period. We could grab Al here. Best lab or library produces additional science equal to its level, and every time you develop a technology, you score 3 culture. We don't have a really powerful lab right now, but hopefully we will. There's some good military units too, which is another possibility. Civil service, because we don't have whatever this class of cards is called. We don't have one of those yet. And then there's the wonder here of Hollywood. We could also consider picking up oil, because we go from the age 1 mine to an age 3 mine. Oh, we really want oil because our best mine produces an extra token. So we want kind of 1 oil. I'm just going to do an upgrade. Yeah, we went from 8 minerals per turn to 14. So we went from 2 minerals per worker to 5. So that was a +3. 11, and then this should generate an extra token, so +5. How's this working out here? Oh, yeah, we were doing 3 times 2. Hang on, what was the extra 2 minerals? Oh, right. Duh. Oh, that's why, because the Transcontinental Railroad was already boosting the iron. I'm like, something in the math isn't working out. But of course, so effectively we were having 4 workers worth on our iron. Now we have 2 workers worth on our oil and 2 on our iron. So we're getting good production value. Even if I don't end up upgrading more of the iron over here, although we may, this is good bang for a buck. I think that was required to really take advantage of the Transcontinental Railroad. And, no one's going to be bothered by more production, right? That's kind of good. We do have to start generating some culture, and, some happiness would be good. Although, let's see. Can I urban growth you? Do I have enough? I do. Great. So we had to break even. We can also do this and then get our food back with the frugality. We've got 1 unhappy face currently sitting. I don't know if there's any age 2 events. I know we're in age 3 right now, but age 2 events are the ones that are still in the queue. I don't know if any of these trigger on, let's get that, emigration. So emigration could cost us 1 population. It might be another situation where we just eat it. Tactically, we don't have anything that would increase our strength. I think we just end our turn here. We're, tied for first. We don't have a leader, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll be definitely looking for one of these tier 3 leaders. Okay. But we have a lot of culture catch-up to do. I mean, the war over culture actually helped a lot. Yellow declares on blue. Yeah, see, blue is just going to they're just going to be the whipping boy here. Go up. Air Force, okay. Knigget. So yellow just went crazy on military strength after declaring a war. Blue's the weakest, but has no colonies, so that nothing bad happens to them. So the military strength buildup changes from game to game. Sometimes you'll end up the game, everyone's really low. They'll be like, the highest will be in their 20s. And sometimes like the highest person will be like 60 military strength. And everyone's kind of got to play. Like if someone develops a bunch of military, you're going to have to respond in kind. It's a little bit like, when, like the Tour de France, right? Like the bike races and stuff, right? There's the person and the lead setting the pace, and people are trying to follow, but the pace will change from day to day. Oh, that's interesting. Our iconoclasm triggered an age 3, even though it's an age 2 thing, and destroyed everyone's leaders. We didn't have one. Although it does mean that red might grab one of these to have one. They took computers, which is obviously quite good for science. Computers would be good with Al, but... Oh, there it is. Okay, because Al benefits your best lab type, which is that. But we might grab Chucky here. Chucky Chappy. I could consider an attack. This is interesting. So it is going to cost us 2 of our military pips, which I think is fine. I don't think we really need them for anything else right now. Now, in theory, blue might be the easiest because we have an 8-point edge over them, but they can use 3 cards to defend, and they've got 5 available. More importantly, perhaps with red, is they have a lot more culture. They can only use 2 cards, and they only have 4 to choose from, so the chance they have 2 strong defensive cards might be a little lower. I think we actually go and see if we can hit red. They did defend because these age 3 cards, which they were lucky enough to have an age 3 defense card, has a value of 6. But it did force them to trash it and might open up the possibility that yellow makes some moves over there. All right, so Charlie Chaplin, your best theater produces twice as much culture, and he gives you 2 happy faces. Our best theater currently is going to be the opera, which isn't going to be too bad. I propose, now we've got Bill over here, right? Your labs produce minerals, and then when you leave play, you get additional culture. And then Sid Meier over here, your labs produce culture, but less science. We don't really have strong labs, so I don't think they're good choices anyway. And Charlie is only 1 civic action, so we're going to develop that. Our happiness problem is good. We're now producing a culture per turn. How do we compare? We're producing more culture than everyone else. Red still has more than us, but we're producing a good amount of culture. That's nice to see. Okay. Don't hate that. I guess we could have also played Impact of Technology instead of doing aggression stuff. We know we might want to play this at some point, so developing tier 3 technologies would be a good incentive. We only got the 1 right now, and again, our science rate's not going to be phenomenal, although we can play journalists to start developing a little bit. It's only tier 2. It'd be nice to get some nice tier 3s rocking and rolling. We could pick up civil service and develop it this turn, which would also count as a tier 3 technology. And that might be a good idea. We also can grab Hollywood here. When we build it, we get culture equals to our theaters and libraries. We got theaters here. We're going to have library. We don't have to build Hollywood right away. We can just claim it. So let's say I did this, which should give us our civil actions back, although not our tech, which means we don't develop journalism this turn, but that's fine. Let's put in Hollywood over there. Where does this leave us? We don't have a ton of food production, but that might be fine. Could still increase our pop over here. We can't, no matter what we do, we can't defend ourselves against yellow, but we might be able to make it a little less enticing by building up an extra military unit. I could start working on Hollywood, but again, we don't have to rush to finish it immediately. Although we might be looking at another tier 3, or another era 3 wonder. By the way the game ends is after the age 3 deck goes away, then everyone gets 1 more turn. I mean, I guess we can just go and... Oh, then we're in our civic actions, but our mineral production per turn is insane now. I guess if I did build the knights, we could go and deploy this tactic next turn, although our knights are super dated, so we would only get the weaker side of that, unless we end up picking up some tanks. Oh, we need 3 knights for that to come up. I guess we'd be able to deploy this classic army, which would get the 8 bonus. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll build an extra unit of knights, boost our strength ever so slightly. We're not going to get to draw any cards. I'm going to discard that because I don't think we're going to do that. Military alliance... I think I'll just discard this. Okay. That is a big war. Yellow now's got a lot of culture from that. Refugees trigger. So they just load an event rather than do another aggression. Strongest civ, so that goes to yellow again. Yeah, they're at 81. Their culture turn's not that high, but they might be able to keep abusing. Oh, they built another Air Force. So Air Force is interesting. It doesn't actually show up on any tactic cards. What it does is it gives you double value. For each Air Force you have, you get double value for an army. So with two units of Air Forces, they can get 2 army bonuses stacked up. Plus, they have decent strength by themselves as well. Blue takes Bill Gates. I mean, blue's still doomed. Wow, they're at 4 culture. Like, they literally have no hope to win, so they're just, playing out their turns just to play out their turns. But that is... I've never seen a score that low. Economic progress. Evaluate food and product. Wow, so we're going to get 1 million minerals. We don't have that much food. There we go. He activated Albert. deploy satellites. Get his Knigget's warriors. There's an air force we could choose for ourselves here. Politics phase. So we're second strongest. I think there's no reason for us not to do this. So we're just starting a new deck. So it's going to be a while before this comes up, at least 6 plays in here. So we'll have more opportunity to maybe get some tier 3 technologies going on. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Civil unrest. If you've got discontent workers, blue gets hit again. Again, the low man on the totem pole just continues to get hit over and over. So we could get the Air Force. We can't deploy it this turn because our tech isn't great. I feel like we probably want to assume we're taking Revolutionary Idea, which you can play to just get some science, because we need that. And I think I'm going to draft the computers as well, which is tier 3 tech, which we know we need for victory. And we need tech to be able to do more tier 3 techs. I mean, journalism will also do it. I can deploy journalism this turn, which will still give me enough science. So I'll get 8, which means I can develop the computers next turn. Okay, that actually works out very nicely. That's also a library, so so Hollywood is now worth more. And I can still build at any time. Our production rate is stupid. I might want to sit on Air Force. I'm going to do that, although, it's tech, but we're going to move to develop some. I think I'm going to develop this tactic, bringing us up to a strength of 28. And grab a reserve card, probably for food. I could also just, improve my oil, and I'd have 1 civil action left. I guess I could pick up modern infantry, but I'm not really sold on that, because we're okay. We've got an H2 rifleman. I don't really feel the need to increase to the next level, although it's quite a nice bump because it goes from 3 to 5. I think I pick up the reserves so that we have the option of getting an extra population next turn. These H3 reserves give us 4. And I guess, yeah, we eat the corruption. I mean, at this point, 2 means nothing. It's just going to eat the cube off the iron over here. Actually, we still have 1 blue cube sitting over here. We really need to get that burned off for sort of making efficiency of change. Oh, I got aggressed. Oh, damn you, yellow. I mean, to be fair, I think I'm in second place. Well, I was tied in second. I've got a good culture production, so it makes sense to attack me. I'm the biggest threat, but... Oi. Oi! Pact, Loft of Sovereignty. Yellow and blue can't attack each other. So... Yellow can no longer attack blue, but yellow's going to get some extra culture out of it. That's not good for us. Because really, yellow's our only target now. There you go. Blue's losing some more culture here. Blue's out of the game, other than, potentially doing some Kingmaker shit. Arena go up. Classic army is available for everyone, which is fine. Impact of architecture. So you score 1 per level of each of its urban buildings. Yellow would actually get none. So what's interesting, if we take a look at Yellow's board, they have no urban building. Well, okay, no. They have Age A, Lab, and Religion. It's amazing. I've never seen someone do so well without any urban buildings. These are effectively level 0, so they wouldn't benefit from that. But you got the production. That's crazy. Yeah, we'll load this in. It won't benefit yellow. We'll get 3 points from playing it. We're not worried about triggering the next event over here. Oh, there's the emigration if we had unhappy faces, but we don't. In fact, no one does. We'll probably want to pick up the movies. I think what happens is... Oh, and we do have a revolutionary idea. That's true. But I think I'm still going to go put down the computer. I'm wondering about grabbing the tanks. Then we can upgrade our knights without needing extra pop. I mean, I can't do it this turn, but it'll be okay. I'm going to do reserves. Well, hold on. First, what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade all of our alchemies. Computers here. We need all of it? How much science do we need? It's an interesting question. But yeah, probably. I mean, we do have... Okay, let me pull back a little, because we do have the revolutionary idea still we can do. And I don't have to play it this turn, because we can't actually get enough science for anything this turn. I feel like we reserves for food, boost our pop, and then develop... we don't really need the journalism part. We'll do the opera for more culture. And the happy faces, in theory. I might want a patriotism, actually. We get waste here. No longer have ways to do that. Because patriotism mostly for the extra military action. I don't know, we might be okay. And I would love to have enough defenses to not get hammered by yellow here. If they have aggression cards in their hand, and they have 8 military cards in their hand, and they're probably going to target me. I don't know, they might target red. Red's got more culture now, and they're weaker. I guess we're just going to have to cross our fingers that they hit red, not me. Okay, they played an event. Impact to government per action. Oh, there we go. We're going to get 21 from this. I think we're going to benefit the most from impact of government. I mean, it was all pretty even. We did come out ahead. Okay, fast food chain, which does give you culture for like military units as well as I think farms. Maybe farms and mines. We can click on it afterwards and see. We might want to grab the internet on our turn, so we might want to finish Hollywood and then pick that up. There you go. Each level of government and blue technologies, which we've got, and yellow doesn't. Okay, that's really good for us. All the age 3 events are all like that. They're all things that just give a bunch of victory points, and they do tend to determine the winner. Passive culture helps a lot. But the age 3 event cards are the ones I'm kind of the weakest about working around, and it's usually where I lose the game. That's a lot of cards. That's going to push. This might be our last turn. No, there's going to be one more round. Okay, so age 4 has just started. So there's no more cards that are going to come out over here. We're going to have this turn, we're going to have the next turn. Because age 4, if age 4 had started on red's turn, it would be the last round, but it's not. So it technically started on my turn, so we're going to get, it's going to finish this round and then start a whole new one. I mean, I guess we war over culture blue. Yeah. It means we won't be able to develop any military actions, but that's going to... Oh! I'm sorry. Can no one attack you? No one can declare war on blue. Son of a... Alright, never mind. I can still attack you. I can't declare war, but I can still attack you. Destroy one of your buildings, and I gain some minerals, which I could gain 8 minerals, but I have infinite minerals. I think I'd rather keep my military actions. Alright, Spaceflight is a lot of actions. It'd be worth a lot. We're going to have enough production next turn to do it. It's the civil actions, because here's what I'm thinking. Complete Hollywood. Action! Oh, I might... Hang on. Complete Hollywood, and then I'm going to need 6 actions to pick that up, huh? Develop movies. Stop there. That leaves me with 7 actions, which is enough to spend 1 to finish Hollywood, which gives me a little bit more points than it would have. Then I can use the rest to pick up Spaceflight. When we finish it, it'll score 27. I will definitely be able to finish it next turn. Again, remind me that's my last turn. We could boost it if we could get another technology card or 2 developed. We've got the revolutionary idea. We've got a decent amount of science per turn. I guess there's nothing for me to do over here because I don't have any idle units and there's nothing to upgrade. We'll get 2 corruption, but who cares? This doesn't help us, so I'll end turn. We'll drop that. War over culture. We can't war over culture last turn anyway, so I'm just going to drop it. Okay. Now, if yellow war over cultures me this turn, that's going to be the end of the game. Okay, they didn't. They played an event. Impact of balance, which is a tricky one to work around. There we go. Hey, blue's got the most out of that. Most important thing, though, right now is we're really worried about our delta to yellow, so we got an extra 2 edge over yellow, which is great. I'm recording this on a Wednesday morning. I kind of want to stream this today. We're nearly 2 hours into this recording. I really should have chopped it up. I might chop it up in post. We're slower when we play on stream, but because of the chatting, but it might still work out as a stream game. It'd be fun to multiplayer with people, but it would be important to, like, I'd have to cover up my military actions and not talk about my future plans, right? For stream typing purposes. Impact of wonders. There you go. Again, that delta versus yellow. Also versus red, because they might have some big catch-up that happens. We're actually in great position. I don't win most of my games of this. In fact, I usually do quite poorly. So I'm very happy this is going well. I'm probably just thinking about the moves a little bit more because I'm doing narration. Sometimes recording makes it worse because doing the audio can be distracting. And sometimes it's better because if I have to explain my moves out loud, it forces me to have to think about them just a little bit more. It really depends on the game and the situation. Hello, Impact of Industry. Now, yellow is going to get more out of it. But we're only 3 behind there, and it gets a good push against red. So we got a 50-point lead over red. That makes me feel really good. 18 over yellow is within range of a single age 3 card causing a swing, you know? Now, yellow won't be able to war us on their turn. There could still be an aggression, but this is the last turn of the game. And the downside to being last here is sometimes you don't get to pick any cards in the last turn. This doesn't always matter, because like a lot of times you're not really going to be able to use what's there. We can pick up another tier 3 tech, though. That wouldn't be bad. So yeah, final turn. I don't think it makes sense to raid, because again, it's just for this. Although we might not need the military points. But, and hurting blue doesn't actually impact the game. Like, taking minerals away from them and screwing up their last turn makes no difference. So let's assume we're just going to skip for the moment. And so, just per level of each technology card. We got 24. It really doesn't matter which technology cards we develop. Actually, we got more than that, because I can do this for 30. Which actually means engineering would replace architecture. So I'm going to take multimedia. This is an upgrade there, but it keeps those technology cards in. So if we check here, right? So right now, if I complete this, it's worth 27. If I were to develop engineering, I think it's worth 28 because it's 1 level higher. But if I develop multimedia, then it goes to 30 because it's counting both of these. And then we deploy Air Force and tanks. And now completing Hollywood is worth 36 points. Man. Or Hollywood, sorry. Spaceflight. Okay, we're going to crush this game. And then it's just a question of how do I maybe maximize a little bit more culture generation. Unless I want to do something defensively. Yellow could have an attack card against me. Them blowing up buildings at this point, well, would still impact maybe what victories happen over here. At the end of the game, you do still process all the events. So I can't do the Air Force, although I can, because what I can do at this point is I can trash a building. For example, I could trash this farm. I get -2 food, but that's okay. Then they gives me a population over here that I could use to deploy the Air Force, which will give me 5 strength by itself, but also give me a double bonus on the classic army. So this is going to be a 13-point swing in strength. And then I could upgrade my tanks over here. All of a sudden, I'm number 1 in military if someone has played a military card. Now, yellow's got a turn to counter that, but it also means I don't have to worry about them attacking my butt on this turn. And then I guess what we'll do is we'll just upgrade. Either one of these moves means +1 culture. This move gives me +1 culture and +1 science, which might matter for some sort of scorecard. I can't remember what they all are. We're going to do this. Yeah, we go down to 1 food, that's fine. We end up with tons of minerals we're never going to spend. It's just about trying to maximize this for whatever cards might come up. Okay, impact of agriculture. So we hurt ourselves a little bit there by getting rid of the farm, but it's not a big deal. We've got a pretty big lead, and I think we're good for the rest of the cards. Okay, you're working your fast food, giving you 25 culture. That's a lot. Yeah, this no urban buildings build, I've never seen this before. That's great. Blue canceled, lost its sovereignty, which doesn't matter here at the end of the game. I mean, blue's going to get back into the triple digits. So, you know, good on them. Considering they're sitting at 4 just a few turns ago, you know? All right, end of the game. So we're going to process all the events that are left in the queue. So impact of population. Okay, we got the most. Oh, we didn't get the most. Yellow did, but only by 4. Impact of architecture was going to be great for us because they have no urban buildings whatsoever. And, yeah, we really don't care what's going on with these guys. We've got enough of a lead. And with only 4 more cards left, yellow, it would have to be really weird. I think we've got this locked in. Impact of science is going to be us and not them. This one is a ranked one as opposed to per buildings or anything like that. And yellow's at the bottom. Competition. Okay, this level military units and arenas. So they get a little bit more than that, but it's not going to be enough to catch up. More cards to go. This one and one more. There we go. Impact to Technology is going to be all about us. Good science-based game. Oh, Red did pretty well there too. And then finally, Impact of Variety for each type of unit, each type of urban building, and special blue technology. And we're getting a ton of this. Wow, that by far is my best victory over the hard AI. And I guess that goes to show you what happens when, I guess I'm paying attention to my talking. Also, normally when I play, a lot of times it's at night. A lot of times it's my friends. A lot of time there may be certain beverages involved. And that may result in a slightly different focus. And considering we had a couple of bum turns in this one here, there was that really awkward transition to age 2 that I thought had screwed us. But as it turns out, the wiener is us. Folks, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, it's a great digital game. Again, available on mobile. It's not a sponsored video or anything. I can't praise this enough. And the board game is fantastic too, playing in person. Nice thing about playing digitally is the math gets done for you. The nice thing about playing physically is you get more of a sense of what's going on with your cubes and sort of understanding corruption and different things like that. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.